Excellency, oh my, Excellency, hello. Okay. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in our final sessions for this plenary session. I believe rapporteurs are ready to present what they discussed earlier. So I would like to start our plenary sessions. Allow me to invite Ms. Sonita from Group 1, Mr. Kim Hok from Group 2, and Mr. Kim Meng from Group 3. Please kindly come to the stage accordingly, and each rapporteur has 7 minutes for the presentation. Mr. Kim Hok, can you start the presentation first? Thank you. Please take the floor.
Okay. First of all, very good afternoon to everyone. My respect to His Excellency Minister attached to the Prime Minister, Secretary General of CRDB, His Excellency Deputy Secretary General, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, especially to our respective development partner focal points here. So on behalf of Group 2, that we have 12 members from 12 institutions. However, we have only 4 institutions in the group discussion: CDC, Czech Republic Embassy, French Embassy, SDC, and USAID. So I would like to present you the outcome, the brief outcome of our group 2. Regarding the theme number 1, regarding opportunity and challenge, and the proposed solution on the customized features of our ODA database from our development partner perspective. First, regarding the customized feature, the opportunity are be able, the development partner and also the OGC are be able to understand and also well aligned between development partner and OGC strategy and policy. So in this customize, allow them to well understand how the DP support to COVID-19, for example, in CSDG as well. And also second one, it is aligned with the new changing context. As nowadays we have like COVID-19, so it is really fit with the new changing context. And also to indicate the performance and the contribution of development partner. And this will be indicated in report. So that's also show the performance of our DP and their contribution, especially to the COVID-19 CSDG as well. Regarding question number 2, about the challenges. So this is from our development partner perspective, that they have many implementing agency. For example, like from USAID, they have a lot of implementing agency, and they have only main focal point from USAID. So somehow the other implementing agency, they have their own definition. So it quite hard for USAID to lobby or to get the information from them to enter in the database as well. Second, regarding some subsectors, it somehow like it is hard to correctly choose a specific subsector that meet with the program, because in some subsector they have only specific sector and subsector that are listed in the an SDP or in the sectoral sector policy, but some program activity are not in are not fall under specific subsector, so they end up with choose other. And also regarding to CSDG, our development partner mentioned that it's also hard for them to measure how many percentage of their total budget that support to each goal. So they follow the guideline with 100%, and then they divide it into three supported to three main goals and divide it to meet the 100%. So that's also a challenge for them, and they also propose the solution in the following answer as well. Regarding COVID-19 as well, there's only 2 features. So as of now, they said it is not, they are not enough for them. Choose only yes and no, and emergency response and socio-economic recovery. So they also propose the solution below as well. And for specific subsector, agriculture, and also they face a challenge regarding the data generation. Our development partner focal point cannot generate all the data that they want. So they also request in the third answer as well. So let's move to question number 3. So these are their proposed solution to be to request for consideration. So first, they would like to provide more clear guidance rather than we have in our current user manual on the customized feature. And also they would also request for roundtable discussion and also outreach support from our CRDB focal point as well. And also they request us to allow the DP focal point to openly openly assess and generate the data, rather than because some of them cannot generate all the data that they want. So they request this as well. And also regarding the methodology of the report generation or report preparation, our development partner, some cannot they cannot understand the result, like PFM or the add-on budget, and also like Thai, fully Thai, and Thai. So they also want to know about that. And also the implementing agency listing as well. And also so these are the proposed solution. So let's move to theme number 2 regarding the general comment and suggestion. They have some suggestion here, like some sector definition are somehow limited for them. So they request it. They request to revise it more clearly. For example, like higher in the education sector and subsector higher education. So it quite hard when we put 18 from 18 to 22 years old for higher education. So French embassy said it's somehow hard to group under the higher education, as the French embassy also support the scholarship for master degree and PhD as well. And also another proposed suggestion is should also have short definition or explanation in the toolkit when we put the cursor on that section. Also have the explanation specifically on section 4 output 3 still miss, so they also request on this as well. And on COVID-19 they also request to add the features on specific amount of funding that they provided to COVID, and also what are the activity that they support, activity or component. So these are the group 2 outcome of presentation of group discussion. So before ending, if my group have anything to add, please. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, His Excellency Chair, colleagues, participants who join virtually and also in person, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sonita from IFI Departments of CRDB CDC. On behalf of Group 1, I would like to share the report of our discussion. So I would like to first present to you the opportunities that we have discussed within our group. Our DP has stated that the cross-cutting thematic markers have allowed them to tag their project in order, especially for some of their projects. For example, the scholarships, which didn't have the exact option for them. So having the cross-cutting thematic marker allow them to tag in and provide and show the non-financial support within the project. Secondly, the COVID-19 information has allowed the partners in the partner to get in more information and provide more assistance to their decision making, especially to the policy makers. Last but not least, the opportunities that Last but not least, the opportunities that the DP has presented is that using the ODA database has allowed them to learn more about the existing projects and in order to create more projects for the future. On the other hand, our DP has also stated some challenges that they have faced so far using the ODA database. First of all, regarding the CSDGs, our DP has stated that they have been facing difficulty in in dividing the exact information and accurate information, budget information, in order to put in the system on the CSDG. Also, as we have discussed the other day, we have also found that some projects required more than 3 CSDGs, but only a few of them. So RDP has wondered if they could insert it more than 3 CSDGs. Secondly, regarding the subsectors, our DP has stated that some subsectors are not included in the ODA database. So they could not select the exact subsectors, which they have to select the others, which is not accurate enough. Next, similarly, for the NGOs, some of the new NGOs name are not yet included in the ODA database. For example, Korean NGOs. So our DP wonder if we could add more NGOs name into the system. Last but not least, the challenges for our DP is regarding the time constraining for the information import into the ODA database, especially regarding the COVID-19, because our DP has different fiscal year. Last but not least, we move on to the comments and suggestions from our group discussion. From the result of our group, we have referred our participant and DP to refer to the ODA manual guide to learn more about ODA database process, as well as hoping to provide more assistance through our focal point. Especially, we hope to be, especially they could refer to the sample of previous ODA data project in order to learn more. We have also encountered the question: is it possible to insert the regional project inside into the ODA database system? And what kind of information and needed from the CDC for the project recording? So with this, we have the need to study the project itself in order to provide more information, and especially ODA database, we only record the information and budget committed to Cambodia. Similarly, as I have previously mentioned, our DP has difficulty in providing the input within the timeline, the deadline, which is the 25th of December. So they have asked if we could extend the deadline by 1 or 2 months, which we would like to clarify that we hope our DP could provide the accurate information on the project for the 2020, but for 2021 is the estimate amount, and for the 2022 is the planning amount, the planning information. Last but not least, we regarding the updating on the new NGOs and sectors, we hope to work with the DP. So if they have any suggestion, please send to our team so that we can add more of the names and further assist with you. This is all from our group. I hope you get a lot of information from this. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm the representative of Group 3, who consists mainly of UN agencies. So right now I'm going to present to you the results of our group discussion. We combine theme 1 and theme 2 together. So we will only answer opportunities, challenges, and solutions. So for opportunities, we identified 4 of them. And the first one is the annual work plan of projects. We think that ODA database is really important for us to understand projects information so that it helps us to, it helps facilitate our annual work plan, especially DP's annual work plan. And also for project formulation, both at country and regional level. For example, FAO raised an example of agriculture sector. ODA database can show us like the existing projects that Cambodia has right now in agriculture sector. So they can determine what other projects will be needed and what existing project is already projects are already been doing. And the third point is that generally we can look at the ODA database and we can know Cambodia receives funds from this partner, from this DP, and we can also disseminate the project information to relevant people because we know that it's public, everybody can access. And also the last opportunity is our customization itself. Our DP thought that our annual customization is significant for a more effective resource mobilization. Next. And the next slide is about challenges and solutions. So the first challenge that we from the UN agencies identified is the subsector. So one example from the UNFPA, he said that his work with the Ministry of Planning, specifically the project about consensus. No, not consensus. Census, okay, sorry. The project about census. He said that it is especially hard to select a subsector that corresponds to the census work itself. So he suggests whether we can work on adding new subsectors that respond to this, for example, CDHS. And for this point, WFP also said, if it is possible, probably we can allow the DP themselves to manually write down the subsector. As you can see in the solution part, maybe the DP can manually enter the subsector so that it's more specific to their project and it gives them an easier time. And the second identified challenge is the cross-checking DP counterparts. This one means that every time or every year when we have to do the project validation or project information recording in the ODA database, DP will have to spend a lot of time checking with other partners that they have co-financing agreement with, checking if they also record the project in the ODA database. So it's really time consuming. Sometimes they don't have just one partner, but they work with like 3 or 4 multiple partners. So it's really time consuming for them, and it's also a burden. And the proposed solution from them is that probably we can create a new feature in the ODA database in order to track co-financing DP. For example, we can just we can check, like, for one specific project, we have, for example, 3 DPs, and among all the 3 DPs, who has entered the information in the ODA database and who has not. So it will help them to better to know about it better and to spend time more wisely. And the third point is the mixed implementing partner. This one is what I mean by this is the mixed type. If you have used the ODA questionnaire before, you already know that we have to select an implementing partner. But usually, if you have only one partner as a ministry, for example, it's easy. But in some cases, there might be mixed implementing partners, ministry, NGO. So the problem is with this mixed implementing partner is that we can't identify all of them, because in the ODA database, we only allow one specific type of implementing partner. So what the DP suggested was that for us to add one more question under that implementing partner to allow them to enter other partners like NGO or private sector, for example. And the last challenge that we identified was the different fiscal year. This one is, I think it's common for DPs, especially the UN agencies, since their fiscal year usually falls in the early year. So next year for World Food and FAO, for example, their fiscal year or their financial closure will be in January or February 2022. So our deadline doesn't really meet their fiscal year financial closure. So they think that if we can extend the final validation deadline, it will help them to get more actual disbursement information, and also it will help them to not to do double work later on when they have their financial closure. So this is the end of Group 3's discussion result. Thank you very much.
Thank you, rapporteurs from the 3 groups for your fruitful presentations. The presentation do give us a lot of useful information and suggestions on how we can work together to improve and track financial development in our ODA database. During data entry, we will strongly encourage our DP focal point to consult with our ODA manual. And if your questions remain unanswered, please contact our focal point and they will clarify it for you. And if it's still unclear for you, and the above mentioned solutions does not work, we have our reach out support to your office, so please let us know. Dear Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as do you have any further questions and suggestions? We still have time for discussions, so please.
Uh, Thank you very much, MC, for opening the floor, actually. Actually, this is the plenary session, and we expect that we have some discussions on the challenges that the team, the three groups presented here. From the presentation, we can see that they share very similar problems. Some of them, I think some of our technical teams can work with you and deal with that specifically. For example, the new NGO implementation, you just give us the list and then we can update the informations. And I should raise two of the most important thing here. So the first one is the sectors and subsector revisions. So first of all, we need to understand that sectors and subsector was designed based on the NSDP. It based on the NSDP sector and subsector, but there should be some exceptional. But what we understand is that we do not design our ODA database based on one particular DP. So if there is a project and the project also share with other development partner and then require us to add any additional subsector, we are happy to do that, but we have to know first the natures of that projects, and we should have more understandings toward that problem. Secondly, about the deadline. From our perspective, we suggest that the deadline, we not suggest, but the deadline for our validation process this year is 15 December this year. The reason is that a lot of development partners have a very long holiday for Christmas. Yeah, late December until early January. We are not sure whether we can extend it, but the thing is that sometimes some development partners spend just like 1 week to do everything. But we do understand that some development partners try so hard to do that, but because of time constraints, and we will find the possibility and work with you for that. Officially, the deadline is 15 December. Thank you very much. If you have any clarifications or suggestion or comment, please.
Our online participant, do you have any further comment or suggestions?
I still say good morning again. This is Ramni from SDC.
Excuse me, can you come closer because we cannot hear you well?
It's okay now?
Not yet.
Oh, I need to shout then.
Louder, please.
It is Ramani from SDC. You still here now? I have to
Yes,
shout now.
Yes, a bit better now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the response. And then I highlight again in here in the subsector as referred to the NSDP. Yes. So for my suggestion is about the generated the information of the subsector disbursement. So I don't know if any consideration on that in terms of the response in this workshop.
Can you clarify a little bit what sector and subsector you are focusing on, or you just say in general?
There are two different requests. The subsector from our group. The first is about the subsector in the list is not enough for us to click on that or choose it. Another question or suggestion is about the information from the database for the subsector disbursement. So in general, it has only sector disbursement information, but for subsector, we do not have. Is it okay to allow us to also access to the or able to generate the information on the subsector disbursement? Thank you.
I think I should answer the question right now. So the first request is about subsectors revisions, and I have told you that it's based on an SDP, but we can find the possibility if the project shares common ground or similarity with other project in other development partner portfolios. But the second things about subsector disbursements, I think from our technical perspective, if you request us to have a subsector divisions, we can do that for you, but it's not really on the Cambodia OA database itself. I'm not quite sure whether the query design can help you do that, but in general, if you have like a lot of subsectors in the Excel or in the table, there are too many informations there, too much informations there. The thing that we can do right now, one particular donor, if they want to have like subsector disbursement, we can do that because we have that capability, but in all development partner, I think it's too much for us to put the information there. Thank you. Do I answer your question well?
Yes, it's the same as the response in the group. That is why I would like to clarify now. How will you work further on this? It is not about the long list or whatever. It is about the open access to the data, and then it is very useful for the DP or even the new program development. And we think for me for personal view, I see that it is not about the burden of the report itself, but it is about the usefulness of the report. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can divide it into two different formats of the reports. So the first one is pre-designed reports that I said before. We have like a table and you just go to see the table. The second point is about query design or design your own reports. So you can use it in our database, the design own report tab, and then you just click sector and subsector. You extract it into the Excel file. It's officially there. It's publicly available. You can access there, but it's require your customization, your selections, which sector you want, which subsector you want, and you extract it into an Excel file. It does not display on the screen, just like the pre-designed reports. So the data is there, it's online. So we do not like hide any data. It's publicly available, just the way that you extract it. So I think my team can also have some instructions or introductions if you really want to do like extractions, the Excel file from the online data based on the subsector disbursement. Thank you.
Any further questions or comment? Yes, please.
Yes, good morning again. Actually, it's not a question. I just would like to share. I know that we, as the development partner, has similar challenges, especially on this kind of subsector, and we clearly understand the difficulty of the CDC team. And if we have more, that's why we have limited kind of sectors that have been put in there. In that, I am just thinking only. We have two options. Number one, if we cannot add, those key subsectors anymore to that sector, probably it's a good idea to put in the remark at the end of the projects, so that the person who entered the project we know that, you know, with that other, we may refer to something that you put at the end of the projects. Or I personally thought that in case of, in terms of the funding amount of that activity that we put into other, let's say if the amount is not significant, let's say $20,000 or something, and if we say that, oh, if the project costs maybe $500,000 and up, it should be in one of those key element or key sector, so that the main amount, the big amount should be captured in the specific subsector other than others. I think that's it from my side. Thank you. But last but not least, I would like to thank to the my counterpart, Mr. Suvanara, for being always supportive. I know that, I mean, the ODA database is so complicated and it is quite time consuming, but I appreciate, even though sometimes the official letter is not delivered yet, but he keep us informed or send the, you know, electronic copy, so that I, as the U.S. government focal point for the ODA database, keep our, you know, other U.S. agency informed and, you know, well prepared. And I mean, normally we usually have, like, you know, pros and cons as well. Sometimes we may be late, but we always, you know, keep in touch, you know, what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your suggestions. We will note it down, and thank you for your kind cooperation so far. So I believe there's no more questions or suggestions from both participant in persons and online.